Picture this. You're sipping your morning coffee on the deck of your own yacht, watching the sunrise paint the harbor gold. No mortgage, no landlord, just you, the sea, and a vessel built like a tank that'll outlast most modern boats twice over. Today, we're diving into something special. Forget those temperamental fiberglass wonder boats from the early 2000s. We're talking about the workhorses, the legends. 5 vintage motor yachts that were overbuilt, over-engineered, and designed to cruise forever without breaking your bank account. These aren't just boats. They're floating homes with soul, history, and the kind of construction quality you simply can't find anymore. From Detroit diesel reliability to Taiwan craftsmanship that puts modern production to shame, we're counting down the top 5 old motor yachts that make perfect liveaboards. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which vintage yacht could become your ticket to the cruising life. Let's get started. Coming in at number 5, we have the Albin 43 trawler. And if you're looking for an affordable entry into full-time liveaboard cruising, this Swedish design beauty might just be your perfect match. Let me take you back to the late 70s. Albin Marine was building a reputation for honest, no-nonsense trawlers in Taiwan. The 43 wasn't trying to win beauty contests or break speed records. It was designed to be exactly what cruisers needed, a stable, comfortable, economical platform that you could trust offshore. What makes the Albin 43 special? It's all about that full displacement hull with a protected full keel. This boat was built to take a beating and keep going. We're talking solid fiberglass construction from an era when builders didn't cut corners. Here's what you need to know about the specs. This 43-footer sports a beam of about 14.5 feet. The majority of examples came equipped with twin Lehman 120 or 135 diesels. And if you know anything about marine diesels, you know the Lehman is practically bulletproof. These engines will cruise all day at 8 knots and push her to about 11 knots at the top end. Now, let's talk range. Stock, you're commonly looking at somewhere between 650 and 700 miles, which is respectable for coastal and near offshore cruising. Can you extend that? Absolutely. Slow her down, manage your speed carefully, or add auxiliary tankage, and you've got even more flexibility. The interior layout is where the Albin really shines for liveaboards. Many examples feature comfortable 2-cabin arrangements that feel surprisingly spacious. You've got proper separation between living spaces, good storage, and layouts that actually make sense for full-time living. So what's the damage? Here's the beautiful part. You can find late 80s examples asking anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. That's not a down payment, that's the whole boat. But here's the reality check. The Albin 43 is a coastal to near offshore cruiser, not an ocean crosser straight out of the box. You'll want a thorough survey paying special attention to the deck core, teak, and windows. Look for evidence of diligent maintenance. These boats reward owners who take care of them and punish those who don't. Bottom line, the Albin 43 is your best entry price liveaboard that still feels like a real ship. It's economical, livable, and backed by decades of proven service. At number 4, we're stepping up to something truly special, the Chioi Lee 46 LRC. And that LRC designation tells you everything you need to know. Long-range cruiser. This boat was purpose-built to go the distance. Chioi Lee has been building boats in Hong Kong since 1870. Yes, you heard that right, 1870. By the time they launched the 46 LRC in the mid-70s, they had over a century of boat-building knowledge baked into every hull. Many of these were built to Lloyd's specifications, which means they met rigorous commercial-grade standards. The 46 LRC represents heavy displacement thinking at its finest. This is a boat that punches through seas rather than hopping over them, delivering that stable, confident ride that makes offshore passages manageable. Let's get into the numbers. She measures just under 46 feet with a beam of 14 feet 8 inches. Displacement comes in at a hefty 49,200 pounds. That's a lot of boat. This weight isn't a liability. It's an asset that translates to seakeeping and stability. Power typically comes from twin Ford Lehman 120 diesels, another legendary engine known for longevity and parts availability. You'll cruise comfortably at 8 to 9 knots. But here's where the LRC really earns its name. Fuel capacity. We're talking about 820 gallons of diesel. Combined with efficient displacement hull design, published range figures hit 1,350 to 1,500 nautical miles at cruise speeds. That's truly go-anywhere capability. Owners particularly love the centerline fiberglass fuel tanks found on many models. No iron tank corrosion to worry about. That's thoughtful engineering that pays dividends decades later. The layouts, Many feature 3 stateroom configurations, making them ideal for full-time cruisers who need space for guests or simply want that extra room. Quality teak joinery and well-planned systems reflect the yard's heritage. Price-wise, there's significant variation. You might find a project boat for around $49,000 or a fully refitted example commanding $260,000 to $275,000. Condition and refit quality drive everything here. Survey carefully. These are 50-year-old boats, so expect some age-related maintenance on laminates, teak, and systems. Verify any blister repairs or tank work thoroughly. But find a well-maintained example, and you've got a true long-range cruiser with respected heritage and proven economics. Number 3 brings us to Taiwan's golden age of yacht building, the Ocean Alexander Classico and Pilot House series. If you want quality everywhere you look, this is your boat. Ocean Alexander established itself as one of the premier brands coming out of Taiwan's booming yacht industry in the 80s and 90s. While other yards chased volume, Ocean Alexander focused on conservative engineering, solid fiberglass work, and finish quality that rivaled American builds at a fraction of the cost. The Classico and Pilot House variants, spanning models like the 50, 456, and 486, became the gold standard for cruisers who wanted a boat that felt substantial. These weren't lightweight racers, they were serious cruising platforms with an emphasis on livability and systems redundancy. What makes them tick? Start with that beam of around 14 feet 8 inches and a draft of about 4 foot 2 inches. Fuel capacity sits at approximately 700 gallons, fed to twin diesels, often John Deere or Caterpillar units known for reliability. The twin-engine configuration gives you redundancy and maneuverability, though it does mean double the maintenance compared to a single. But many owners feel that trade-off is worth it for the peace of mind. Where Ocean Alexander really separates itself is in the details. The joinery is exceptional. We're talking hand-selected teak, thoughtful design, and hardware that's built to last. The Pilot House layouts offer incredible ergonomics for long-distance cruising, with excellent visibility and everything within reach. These boats cruise efficiently at 8 to 10 knots, and while they're not expedition trawler long-range vessels, the 700-gallon capacity gives you respectable range, especially if you slow down and let the displacement hull do its work. Let's talk investment. Mid-90s 456, 486, and 511 Classico models typically list between $240,000 and $370,000. Older 1980s 50-footers can come in lower depending on refit status. Yes, that's more than our previous entries, but you're buying into proven quality and strong resale value. The Ocean Alexander community is robust, parts availability is good, and these boats age gracefully when properly maintained. Twin engines mean more upkeep, and you'll want to inspect systems carefully, but find a well-sorted example and you've got a yacht that'll serve you for decades. Bottom line, if you want that quality everywhere feeling in a Pilot House trawler, with proven Taiwan craftsmanship from the glory years, the Ocean Alexander Classico series delivers. At number 2, we're talking about a legend, the DeFever 49. This is Arthur DeFever's masterpiece, a full displacement cruiser that redefined what a trawler could be. Arthur DeFever was a yacht designer who truly understood passage making. When he drew the 49, he wasn't thinking about marina cruising or weekend getaways. He was thinking about ocean crossings, extended cruising, and boats that could handle whatever the sea threw at them while sipping fuel. The DeFever 49 embodies full displacement thinking taken to its logical conclusion. This hull form is optimized to jog along forever at about 8 knots, delivering ocean-friendly motion and exceptional range that makes her a favorite among serious cruisers. The numbers tell the story. She measures just under 49 feet with a 15-foot beam and solid fiberglass construction throughout. But here's where it gets interesting. Fuel capacity ranges from 950 to 1,000 gallons. Yes, you read that correctly, 1,000 gallons of diesel. Combined with efficient displacement hull design, range commonly exceeds 1,000 nautical miles at trawler speeds. Slow down even more, and you're looking at truly expedition-level capability. Many owners report crossing oceans in these boats with fuel to spare. The raised Pilot House layouts that became standard on many DeFevers are absolutely ideal for liveaboard cruising. You get 360-degree visibility, excellent weather protection, and layouts that separate public and private spaces beautifully. Systems are deliberately simple, no complex electronics or exotic materials to fail thousands of miles from the nearest yard. This is designed to be fixed anywhere engineering, which is exactly what long-range cruisers need. Now, let's address the price range because there's significant variation here. Project boats or older examples needing work can start as low as $34,000. Fully refitted, turnkey examples push into the low to mid $200,000 range. The spread reflects the wide variation in condition, and the extent of refits undertaken. Here's what to watch for. Speed is limited. This is an 8-knot boat, period. Some examples are twin screw, which adds maintenance complexity compared to single engine setups, and condition varies widely with age. Survey thoroughly, paying special attention to any age-related issues. But find the right DeFever 49 and you've got one of the finest long-range trawlers ever built. The combination of range, seakeeping, simplicity, and proven performance makes this boat a perennial favorite among serious cruisers. And here we are. Number 1, the Hatteras 53 Motor Yacht. If you want maximum liveaboard space combined with that indestructible feel, this is your boat. Hatteras yachts dominated American yacht building from the 60s through the 80s. When Jack Hatteras and his team designed the 53 Motor Yacht, they weren't messing around. This boat represents old-school American construction at its absolute peak. Hand-laid solid fiberglass hulls, heavy scantlings, and systems built to take abuse. Renowned marine surveyor David Pascoe describes the 53 as a perfect blend of excellent quality and good design. The hull weighs approximately 55,000 pounds. That's massive, even by today's standards. This isn't weight from poor design, it's weight from conservative engineering and substantial construction. The dimensions: 53 feet 1 inch overall, with a 15-foot 10-inch beam and about 4 feet of draft. She's big, solid, and feels like a small ship rather than a boat. Power typically comes from twin Detroit diesel 8V71 engines, either naturally aspirated or turbocharged. These are legendary power plants, the same engines that powered everything from commercial fishing boats to military vessels. Parts availability is exceptional, and mechanics who know Detroit's can be found anywhere sailors gather. Fuel capacity sits at approximately 700 gallons, according to factory brochures. Now here's the reality. Detroit diesels can be thirsty, especially if you're pushing hard. But cruise conservatively, and you've got respectable range. The interior is where the 53 truly shines for liveaboards. We're talking cavernous spaces with separate staterooms, proper galley facilities, and the kind of volume that makes full-time living genuinely comfortable. This feels like a floating apartment, not a cramped boat. What about pricing? You're looking at 1970s and 80s examples asking anywhere from $99,000 to $180,000. That's remarkable value for this much boat. But let's be honest about the trade-offs. That narrowish beam relative to length means she's not as wide as some competitors. Speed is modest unless you're willing to burn serious fuel. And those Detroit diesels, while bulletproof, do require maintenance and fuel. However, the massive parts ecosystem for Detroit diesels, the proven hull design, and the sheer space available make the Hatteras 53 the ultimate vintage liveaboard motor yacht. This is a boat that was built to last forever, and many have done exactly that. So there you have it, 5 vintage motor yachts that were genuinely built to last. From the affordable Albin 43 to the commanding Hatteras 53, each brings something unique to the liveaboard cruising life. The common thread? These boats were built during an era when quality mattered more than quarterly earnings, when engineers overbuilt rather than value engineered, and when good enough simply wasn't acceptable. Which one speaks to you? Are you drawn to the long-range capability of the DeFever 49? The quality finish of the Ocean Alexander? Or maybe that bulletproof Hatteras 53 is calling your name? Drop a comment below and let me know which yacht you'd choose for your liveaboard dream. And if you found this valuable, hit that subscribe button. We've got more vintage yacht deep dives coming your way. Until next time, fair winds and following seas.